guys, it's Tiffany. I am going to go over a little bit more detail about the locking block and oiling. I know we have another oiling video that's up that was put out pretty early on in the process, and I want to make this one specifically for the locking block. We've gotten a lot of questions, a lot of people asking about the locking block and having some issues with some people doing proper oiling with the locking block. So we're going to cover that now. What I'm going to show you is why it's so important that you are oiling your locking block. So the barrel, if the locking block was in the frame, it was inside of a honcho and the gun was ready to be fired, this is about how it would sit. Right about there, no real contact. That's the gun ready to fire. When the gun is fired, these two surfaces here, the inside of this lug and this side of the locking block, make contact, and that's what pulls the barrel down out of battery so that the slide can move over the top of the barrel. And then when the back of the barrel makes contact with the slide, that causes the barrel, this surface here, to connect with this back surface of the locking block, and that's what glides it back up into the ready to fire position. So you have two surfaces. You have the surfaces here on the locking block on both sides, and then you have the surfaces on the barrel here and on this side making contact. Anytime you have metal on metal making contact, there has to be lubrication, there has to be oil, they have to be protected, or they will gald, they will have issues, they'll cause stress points and cause things to break. Given the two parts here, the path of least resistance, if anything is rubbing, is galding on each other, it is going to be this area here. If there's no oil in there and it's just dry, just moving, you will eventually crack a lock block. I say this, it has nothing to do with how the honcho functions per se. We've had a few people, unfortunately, who have had double charges, wrong caliber and the wrong barrel installed. I think we had a case head separation on one. This is one of the worst barrels that we have. We had a honcho that came back, slide frame were all jammed up. We had to take a hammer actually to the slide and to get it apart from the frame. Got the barrel out. This was not machined off. This was actually blown off, this part here, and the barrel is split all the way down. There's actually still pieces of the case inside of the barrel. All of this having taken place, nothing happened to the lock block. Lock block still intact. There's no cracks either side, no signs of real distress, because there was oil on the inside when the gun did fire. When it did make contact, it was lubricated, so it was allowed to glide down those portions like it was supposed to. So the only times that there are issues with the locking block is when there is a lack of oil. I do know a lot of people, when we say it needs a lot of oil, are putting a lot of oil on the frame rails, putting them on the slide, which is a really good thing because you want your gun to be well oiled. But what we're really stressing is the oil on the inside of the gun. To be able to properly oil your lock block, you're going to have to remove the slide. Pull the slide stop out, put your paper clip in, and just remove the slide. If you're in open configuration, remove the racker from the back. It shouldn't take you any more than, I would say, probably 2 minutes to remove your slide. So with the locking block inside and installed properly in there, you have the slide stop through. All you're really going to need to do is just goober it up with a whole bunch of, and that is a technical term, goober it up, whole bunch of oil in there, whatever your favorite oil is. The barrel, before you put it back in, it'll be upside down in the slide with the, actually I think usually the locking block is on this side of it. So technically you can oil it, put it back where it goes, and then reinstall it back into the frame, which obviously the slide would be in there as well. So then you've got plenty of oil on both of those surfaces so that they're able to move pretty freely. All right, guys, I hope this helps. Definitely make sure that you are oiling it. We can tell when you don't. All the honchos come back and we check them. You can tell if it's starting to get dry. You'll see that the coating is wearing off. You can start seeing some rub marks, some wear marks in there. You'll be able to, if you visually inspect it, see when things are starting to rub and starting to have issues. You'll be able to see marks along these surfaces on both sides where they are meeting up and galding up. So if you have any questions about this, want any more details about oiling your honcho, oiling this part specifically, we use, I think a lot of times, like a Royal Purple motor oil. We don't really recommend grease. If you're somewhere that's not super warm, it's going to be thick and cause it to have trouble getting into all the surfaces it needs to. But outside of that, I don't think there really is a bad oil or someone that we wouldn't recommend. We just want you to put oil on your gun so that it's properly lubricated and it lasts a very long time and has as little issues as possible, so you can keep having fun shooting matches and enjoying your honcho. So if you need anything, give us a call. Thanks.